going to explain about the map of chapter Managing Quality and Performance. And for the first one, before that, we're going to learn the meaning of control. Now, I'm going to explain that the meaning of control is a systematic process used by managers to regulate companies' activities. The goal is to make sure that all activities are aligned with the organizational plan, targets, and performance standards. There are two key points here. And for the first one is choosing standards and measures manager now recognize that performance cannot be measured only by financial results. They also need to consider intangible aspects such as customer satisfaction, internal processes, and innovation. These measures help managers ensure that the organization continues creating value. And for the second one, the balance scorecard. The balance scorecard is a comprehensive management control system. It combines financial measures with operational measures. It looks at four perspectives. For the first one, financial. Second one, customers. The third one, internal business processes. And the fourth one, learning and growth. Now, by balancing this perspective, companies can evaluate performance more accurately and make better strategic decisions.
Feedback control model, which is a fundamental approach managers use to ensure that performance stays aligned with organizational goals. This model consists of four steps. First, establish standards of performance. Managers set clear expectations regarding what results should be achieved. These standards act as a benchmark for performance. Second, measure actual performance. At this stage, managers collect data such as financial report and then operational metrics or quality indicators to understand what is actually happening within the organization. Third, comparing performance to standards. Managers evaluate deviation by comparing the actual outcomes with the expected standard. This comparison helps identify gaps in efficiencies or areas that require attention. And then finally, take corrective action. When performance does not meet expectation, manager intervenes. Corrective action might include revising work processes, providing additional resources, or adjusting standards if they are no longer realistic. And then this model is closely applied in budgeting, which serve as a formal control tool. An expense budget allows managers to track anticipated versus actual spending. And then a revenue budget compares forecasted and actual income. A cash budget monitors the timing of cash inflows and outflows to ensure liquidity. And then finally, a capital budget focuses on major long-term investments in assets, ensuring that large expenditures stay aligned with strategic goals.
After we know what the forms of feedback control model are, we will discuss about the forms of financial control. There's a way to know and control the financial, and what is it? Financial statement. The first one is balance sheet. Show the firm's financial position with respect to assets and liability at a specific point in time. The second one, income statement. Summarize the firm's financial performance for a given time interval, usually 1 year. Financial analysis. Interpreting the numbers. A manager needs to evaluate financial reports that compare the organization performance with earlier data or industry norms. The most common financial analysis focus on ratio, statistics that express the relationship between performance indicators such as profit and asset, sales and inventory.
Okay, so I'm gonna explain about the changing philosophy of control. Today, many organizations are moving away from strict top down control and shifting toward a more flexible, truth based approach. First, there's hierarchical versus decentralized control. Hierarchical control is the traditional method. It uses a lot of rules, procedures, and close supervision, managers believe employees need to be monitored to stay on track. This usually makes employees less motivated and leads to higher turnover. On the other hand, decentralized control is the opposite. It relies more on trust, shared values, and teamwork. The structure is flatter, and employees are given more freedom and responsibility. This approach increases engagement, initiative, and overall satisfaction. And the second one, there is open book management. Open book management is one example of decentralized control. Here, companies share financial information with employees, so they understand how the business is doing and how their work affects the result. This helps employees think like owner and feels more committed. So, overall, the trend is moving from strict monitoring toward trust, empowerment, and shared responsibility.
Total quality management. So, first of all, what is TQM? Total quality management, or TQM, is an organization-wide commitment to infusing quality into every activity through continuous improvement. In simple words, TQM means every part of the organization keeps working to improve quality step by step every day. TQM techniques. To support TQM, there are several important techniques. There are five key techniques that organizations usually apply. 1. Quality circles. 2. Benchmarking. 3. Six Sigma. 4. Reduce cycle time. And 5. Continuous improvement. TQM success factors. Now, when we talk about whether TQM can success or fail, there are two sides, positive factors and negative factors. For positive factors, the example is problem-solving skills are improved for all employees. For negative factors, the example is workers are dissatisfied with other aspects of organizational life.
Next is trend inequality and financial control. Many companies are responding to changing economic realities and global competition by resizing organizational management and process including control mechanism. Some of the major trends in quality and financial control include first, economic value added or AVA. In terms of AVA is intended to capture all the things a company can do add value from its activity, such as run the business more efficiently, satisfy customers, and reward shareholders. Second is market value added or MVA. MVA adds another dimension because it measures the stock market's estimate of the value of a company past and projected capital investment project. For example, when company market value greater than the all capital invested in from shareholders, bondholders, and retained earnings, the company has a positive MVA, an indication that it has increased the value of capital entrusted to it and thus created shareholder wealth. Third is activity-based costing or ABC. ABC attempts to identify all the various activities needed to provide a product or service and allocate costs accordingly. And last one is corporate governance. The matter of corporate governance has come to the forefront in light of the failure of top executive and corporate directors to provide adequate oversight and control at failed companies. Move on to the chapter 19 versus the organization as a value chain. Operation management is formally defined as the field of management that specializes in the production of goods and services and use special tools and techniques for solving production problems. In essence, operation managers are concerned with all activities involved in converting inputs into outputs, including decisions about matters such as how and where to obtain raw materials, where to locate facilities and what equipment to install them, and how to get products or services to customers, knowing that it can be divided into two types. First is manufacturing organization and service operation. Manufacturing organizations are those that produce physical goods such as cars, video games, television sets, or golf balls. In contrast, service organizations produce non-physical outputs such as medical, educational, communication, and transportation service for customers. Second is service organization. Supply chain management is the term for managing the sequence of suppliers and purchasers, covering all stages of processing from obtaining raw materials to distributing finished goods to final customer. The most recent advance in supply chain management involve using internet technologies to achieve the right balance of low inventory levels and customer responsiveness.
After the discussion of organizational value chains, we also need to know the layouts of the velocity that we will use. The first one, process layout. Facilities layout in which machine that performs the same function are grouped together in one location. The second, product layout. A facilities layout in which machine and tasks are arranged according to the sequence of steps in the production of a single product. The third, cellular layout. A facilities layout in which machines dedicated to sequence of production are grouped into cells in accordance with group technology principles. The fourth, fixed position layout. A facility layout in which the product remains in one location and the required text and equipment are brought to it.
Technology automation, which enhance efficiency across the value chain. One example is RFID, or radio frequency identification. RFID tags allow organizations to identify and track items such as products, equipment, or even people without manual scanning. This technology improves inventory accuracy and speeds up logistic processes. Another advancement is the flexible manufacturing system, which automates production lines so they can adapt to different product types. This flexibility helps organizations respond quickly to market changes. Then we have lean manufacturing, which focuses on reducing waste and improving quality through highly trained employees who monitor and enhance each stage of production. Inventory management, which ensures that an organization maintains the right amount of materials at the right time. There are three main types of inventory: finished goods, which are completed products; work in process inventory, which represents goods still moving through production; and raw materials, which are the basic inputs. A widely used approach is the just in time or JIT system. Instead of holding large stockpiles, GIT schedules materials to arrive exactly when they are needed. This reduces storage cost, lowers waste, and increases operational efficiency.
Information technology has transformed management. There are five key points that explain how technology changed the way management works today. First, we have information technology or IT. Two, boundaries dissolve and collaborations begins. Third, knowledge management. Four, management information system or MIS. And finally, enterprise resource planning system or ERP. This integrates different business processes such as finance, operations, and supply chain into one unified system. So these five elements show how technology transforms our the overall management process.
So, on this slide, I'm going to explain a new generation of information technology. Basically, the idea here is that technology today isn't controlled mainly by big companies anymore, but by individuals users. People now create content, share ideas, and even influence business through simple online tools. The first tool is blog. A blog is basically a weblog where anyone can post their opinions, experience, or ideas. Blogs become powerful because one person can share something and it can spread quickly. Companies even monitor blogs to see what people are saying about them. And some companies create their own blogs to communicate directly with customers or employees. And then there is social networking. This is like the evolution of blogging. Instead of just writing posts, social networking lets people interact instantly through platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. This platform make it super easy for people to share photos, opinions, and organize communities. A lot of companies take advantage of social network to build brand awareness, communicate with the public, or even create internal work networks for their employees. And the last one is peer-to-peer file sharing. Peer-to-peer file sharing, or P2P, this is technology that allows two computers to connect and share files directly without going through central server. This method is efficient because it saves storage and speed up sharing. Big companies also use it. For example, researchers can share important data instantly without needing a huge database in the middle. So, in short, the new generation of IT is all about how individuals use simple tools like blogs, social media, and peer to peer networks to create content, share information, and collaborate. These technologies shift powers to users and help organizations communicate better and work more efficient.
So now we talk about the internet and e-business. Next, we move on to what is internet and e-business. Now, besides having some negative impacts, e-commerce provides many benefits that make business operation more effective. So, here are four key benefits. The first one, product branding. Internet allows companies to build stronger product branding through websites, social media, and online ads. And the second one is easy access for customers. Customers can easily browse and buy products anytime, anywhere, which improves convenience. And the third one is increases in business profit. Online platforms allow businesses to reach more customers, reduce barriers, and increase revenue. And the last one is reduces operational costs. E-business can lower costs such as physical restaurant, staffing, and even distribution expense. Now, in conclusion, organizational control and e-business both play an important part in helping companies. And it makes company operates more effectively and more competitive in today's digital era. And that's all for us. Thank you for listening. See you next time. Goodbye.